I was riding the night bus home after visiting my brother. It was late, past midnight, and the route was nearly empty. Just me, the driver, and a woman in the very back, staring out the window. At some point, I must have dozed off. When I woke up, the bus was stopped. Not at a station, just in the middle of a dark, wooded road. Trees pressed against the windows on both sides. The engine was still running, but the driver was gone. I stood up, looked around. No one else. Even the woman from the back was missing. I tried the front door. Locked. My phone had no signal. The overhead lights flickered, and for a second, I saw a shape at the back of the bus. Someone tall. Still. Facing me. I blinked, and it was gone. I rushed back to the seat I woke up in and just waited. Then the bus started moving again. The driver was back, silent. I didn't say a word. When we reached my stop, I bolted off. As the bus pulled away, I looked back through the window. The woman was sitting in the back again. Only this time, she was smiling at me. I moved into a cheap flat last month. Old building, but clean enough. The landlord warned me about thin walls. But I didn't care. I'm used to noise. My first night. I heard someone speaking through the wall. A deep voice, murmuring right behind the headboard. I assumed it was my neighbor. Talking late. But then I checked. The room on the other side? Empty. Vacant. No one had rented it yet. I figured maybe the voice carried from upstairs or downstairs. Second night, same voice. Same place. Louder. It was muttering in a language I didn't recognize. Low. Rhythmic, like a chant. I knocked on the wall. It stopped. I didn't sleep that night. On the third night. It started around 3 a.m., but now? The wall was cold, freezing cold. Like something was pressing against it. And then the voice whispered, "I know you can hear me." I haven't stayed a fourth night. I just moved into a rental flat on the edge of town. Quiet, cheap, and with a view of the forest. Perfect, I thought. First night, I noticed the curtain in the spare bedroom swaying. Even though the window was shut, I figured maybe a draft, though it gave me chills. Next morning, the curtain was back in place. I thought nothing of it, until I saw footprints on the windowsill. From inside the room. Bare, muddy feet. I live alone. I checked everything. No signs of forced entry. Window locked. Still, I closed the curtain tighter and avoided the room. That night, I woke up around 3 a.m. to the sound of soft breathing. It wasn't mine. It came from behind that curtain. I stood outside the room, phone in hand, recording. I didn't dare speak. Just waited. The curtain shifted. Very slightly. But enough. A pale hand slid out and gently pulled it back into place. I ran. I haven't been back since. But every so often, I check the live feed from the indoor camera I installed. The curtain never moves. But sometimes, at 3 a.m. exactly, I hear breathing in the audio. Ross had always heard whispers in his home, just a faint murmuring at the edges of his awareness. He dismissed it as the house settling, as wind threading through cracks in the walls. Until one night, the whispers grew louder. At 3:07 a.m., Ross woke up to a soft rustling sound, like fingers scraping against the wooden floor. His bedroom door stood open, though he was sure he had shut it before sleeping. He held his breath, listening. The murmurs were clearer now. Not the house, not the wind. Words, urgent and pleading. "He's coming. You must hide." His pulse pounded. He sat up, swallowing his fear, and reached for his phone. A message notification blinked, a number he didn't recognize. "Don't move. He's watching." The phone slipped from his hands. Cold air brushed against his neck, but there were no windows open. Something was behind him. Ross turned slowly, only to see the mirror. His reflection wasn't alone. A tall, shadowed figure loomed behind him in the glass, its face obscured, long fingers resting against his shoulder. The whispers rose to a deafening hum, words colliding in a frenzy of panic. Run! But he couldn't move. The reflection blinked, even though Ross hadn't. And then it smiled. The last thing he heard before darkness swallowed him was the whispering voice, close to his ear. You shouldn't have stayed. I used to live in a narrow, three-story townhouse. Bedrooms upstairs, living room and kitchen on the ground floor. The stairs creaked, always, even if you barely touched them. One night, I was up late watching TV. Around 2 a.m., I heard the familiar creak of someone stepping onto the top landing. I live alone. I muted the TV. Another step. Creak. I grabbed my phone, switched on the flashlight, and stood at the bottom of the staircase. Hello. I called out. No answer. But I swear I heard breathing. I moved up slowly, one step at a time. I got halfway when the hallway light above flickered on, by itself. That's when I saw him. A man, tall, in a dark coat, standing completely still at the top of the stairs. I froze. He didn't move, didn't blink, just stared down at me, head tilted slightly. I ran. Outside. Called the police. They searched the house. Nothing. Every door and window. Still locked from the inside. But here's the part one never told anyone. That man. I'd seen him before. In a photo I found tucked under a loose floorboard last week. A faded family portrait. From maybe the 60s. The man was standing at the back. Same coat. Same stare. Same house. Nobody lasts long in Flat 6C. Tenants come and go. Some leave in the dead of night. Some vanish without a trace. There's no official record of anything strange, but word travels. The door is always a little too cold. The living room lights flicker the same way every night. Long pause. Short flash, long pause. People joke it's Morse code. No one waits long enough to translate it. The last tenant was a quiet one. Never spoke. Never left. Neighbors say they saw him through the blinds, standing at the same spot, facing the front door, for hours. Like he was waiting. One night, two kids dared each other to knock. Just to laugh. Before their fist hit the door, it creaked open. Inside was clean. Not in a good way, like a show home nobody lived in. No plugs in the sockets. A fridge full of rusted scissors. Every mirror covered with sheets. And no tenant. Only one kid came out. Silent. He hasn't spoken since. He draws the same face over and over. Now dozens of them. Wide-eyed. Mouths open in a scream. Flat 6C sits empty again. Windows blacked out. The number plate melted like wax. But if you walk past late enough, on the right kind of night, you might still see it. That pattern. Long pause. Short flash. Long pause. And something watching through the crack in the curtains.